Your tireless pursuit of equality of treatment has made a lasting and substantial contribution to our democracy.
You fought the Ku Klux Klan and the rise of Nazism. You joined the civil rights movement and rallied for the freedom of Soviet Jewry. And you've never wavered in your condemnation of anti-Semitism or in your defense of the Jewish people and the Jewish state of Israel.
Getting involved in Israel was the natural extension of our concern with Israel, mandated, dictated by the attacks against Israel, not only the physical attacks, but the propaganda attacks, which were blatantly, crudely anti-Semitic. So we opened up an Israel office. We have in Israel a center of monitoring anti-Semitism and extremism and anti-Israel activity, and we do it out of Israel. A, because so much, unfortunately, comes from the Arab Muslim world in Arabic, but also because Israel, unfortunately, has also become the focus for a lot of the anti-Semitism.
If we're going to be serious about our job to stand up for the Jewish people, it's impossible not to stand up for the state of Israel.
One of the things we started doing was missions. For the obvious reason, of course, to explain Israel. But there are deeper reasons as well. And that is when we bring Latino, Hispanic leaders from the United States, or we bring law enforcement officers, or religious leaders, or teachers of the Holocaust, or young collegiate leaders. Throughout the experience of Israel, they build bonds with the Jewish community. They begin to understand our history, our values, and why Israel is important. The office provided the ability to program without being dependent on the Israeli government. And people going with us felt comfortable because the ADL had a broad agenda. It wasn't just a lobbying group for Israel. We had an agenda on civil rights, and human rights, on domestic issues, and the office grew. A more recent dimension of our missions is law enforcement missions. To bring law enforcement closer to law enforcement in Israel. And we have instituted a series of seminars in Israel where we bring police chiefs, sheriffs, intelligence officers to meet their counterparts, to meet their peers, to share the experiences.
Following the recent bombing in Boston, I received emails from participants who said that the trip actually gave them tools how to deal with a terror attack. One of the participants wrote to me and said that he actually stood and thought, what would the Israelis do in such a case?
Little by little, the office developed its own Israeli raison d'etre. Not only an adjunct to the American office, but it began to feel as part of Israeli society.
We really got involved in Israel on the ground level. Our Israel board consists of key leaders from across Israeli society, and more, our ADL programs are created and delivered by Israelis for Israelis.
We began to work with the Israeli Ministry of Education, beginning to apply some of ADL's well-known programs against prejudice within the Israeli context.
הליגה נגד השמצה. בפרויקט הזה למדנו על עצמנו, למדנו איך סטריאוטיפים על דעות קדומות, ואני השתניתי, אז אני רוצה שהם גם ילמדו שכל אחד יכול להשתנות.
Throughout the years, we have been fortunate to develop our relationship, respect, and trust with the Israeli government, which would then, in moments of crisis, lead to being able to pick up the phone and ask how one can help. And so I think many of the Israeli leaders understand not only the importance of the United States to Israel, but also the glue, the cement that makes sure that that relationship is always an open, an honest, a respectful one. And part of having an Israel office is to help keep that relationship on as high a level as is possible.